A lot of service providers are doing market research all wrong, or worse, don't do it at all. But here's the deal. Market research will confirm and improve your business ideas, show you how to use your customers' language, help people find you and your services, and give them a reason to buy from you. So if you are posting on social media, you're not getting a lot of engagement, you're not getting enough sales, or you just flat out don't know what to say online, this video is for you. Stay tuned. If you want to make more sales in your business, it is absolutely essential to do market research, and you will know that you have found the right marketing message when your ideal clients are saying,
"Oh my gosh, are you inside of my head?"
My name is Lauren Golden. I am the founder of The Free Mama. We have a community of tens of thousands of amazing online service providers over on Facebook. I highly suggest you join us over there if you are not a member already. We would love to have you. I've also had over 8,000 people go through my courses on how to grow their online business as a service provider, freelancer, generating over $23 million in revenue in the last few years. And if you want to make more sales, the best place that you should start is by doing your homework and doing a little market research. So if you haven't been doing it up until now, this is going to be a game changer. It's possible that you've tried to do market research, but maybe you're not doing it correctly, because I see a lot of people, including inside of our Facebook group, making posts and they're trying. I can see that they're putting in the effort, but they're definitely missing the mark in terms of what they should be looking for and what the information is that they need to know on the back end to nail their marketing message and thus attract more leads and be able to close more sales. So just to make sure we're all on the same page from the very beginning, your goal is to know, where are your ideal clients at right now? What is their current situation? How are they feeling about it? What stresses them out? What keeps them up at night? What are they overwhelmed with? And what have they already tried to do to solve this problem, if anything? And on the flip side, this is you're the gap, by the way. On the flip side, where do they want to be? What is the result of working with you or hiring you? What's that going to be like on the other side? What's their desired outcome? What do they wish their business or their life looked like? And your offer, your services that you provide are the line that's going to get them from point A to point B. But without knowing what those 2 points are, your marketing messaging is not going to land. So let's dive into the meat and potatoes of today's video. I've got 5 crunchy action takes for you on how you can be doing market research the right way. First up is a competitor analysis. Now, back in the day when I was freelancing as a one-to-one service provider, when I first got started in the online space, I was doing social media management, and it was non-negotiable that this was the first step whenever I would onboard a new client. If I didn't know what other people in their industry were already doing, what are they doing well? What are they not doing well? What is my client, or in this case you, what do I do better, faster, or differently than everybody else? If you don't have this information, then you're going to miss your sticking point that's going to make you stand out in the market that you're trying to sell your offer in. You can find your competitors through Google. You can find them on social media. You can browse their websites. What are they offering? How is it being delivered? How much are they selling it for? How are they selling it? This is not so that you can go in and copy your competitors. No, it's actually quite the opposite. This is supposed to give you ideas on what your marketing could look like, maybe should look like, but more importantly, it will help you identify any gaps that are in the marketplace. And this is exactly the way that you can stand out. The goal here with a competitive analysis is to figure out what makes you special, what makes you unique in the marketplace, and what is already working. What are those messages that are landing with other people so that we can combine those 2 things for your unique value proposition. Okay, second market research tool that I want you to put in your tool belt is observation. This is one I am doing all the time. I actually just taught this exact training, but way more in depth inside of the Free Mama membership to all of my students and clients about a week ago. And this was the one that someone asked me, like, do you still do market research? You've been in business for 7 years with the Free Mama. You've been self-employed almost a decade. Are you still doing market research? I am doing this step every time I'm online, every time I'm interacting with other people, I'm never just consuming, I'm always observing what's happening on social media. It could be YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, forums, maybe you're in Reddit, things like that. What are people saying in reviews? What are people saying in the comments section? An added bonus of being on social media is that then you can go to their profiles. If you identify a comment or a question from somebody in a Facebook group and you're like, oh my gosh, that is my ideal client, or that is the exact person that I'm trying to help with what I sell, you can go do a little bit more snooping on that person and figure out even more information. How do they spend their time at night? What are they avoiding? What's really important to them? What shows are they watching? Not because maybe that's going to be the thing that you market about, a TV show, but if you're like me and you like to have a lot of fun and you use a lot of GIFs and things like that, current events that relate to your ideal client might get their attention in your marketing. Number 3 is collecting your own data. So of course you can go see what competitors are doing out there. You can do your own research online through Google searches, but when you collect your own data, this might be in the form of a poll, a survey, an interview, message testing. So this might be a poll that you throw up on Facebook if you've got 5 different names of your offer and you want to see which of these language bites is really resonating with the person I want to sell to. You can do a poll about that. You can get a couple of leads from your audience. Just make sure they are in fact your ideal clients, because not all opinions are created equally, but get a couple of them on an interview on Zoom. Offer to buy them a coffee or give them something away for free in exchange for their time. And then listen. Make sure you're really listening to the words that they're saying. Again, point A, where are they? What is their current situation like? Point B, where do they want to be? What are their desires? And then you can start to repeat this language back to them in the content that you're creating. Again, pro tip, make sure you are asking the right people and qualifying the people that you're sending polls to or surveys, especially if you're doing this on social media. I see this inside the Free Mama Movement Facebook group all the time. Someone will be like, #market research, and they'll throw out a really generic question. There's no context and there's no pre-qualifying, which means the data that they're collecting is going to be really skewed. There's no way that they can use it in a quantitative way. It's kind of random, and then they're really just back to guessing what their ideal person wants. Another pro tip is if you are using polls and surveys and interviews to do a soft launch before you're launching something or opening up a beta or a test group for something, just be prepared emotionally that just because your friends who are in your network really want to support you and cheer you on, just because they say that they're really interested in something or that something's a really great idea, it does not mean that they are going to buy it or sign up for your services when you put it out there. People ultimately will really vote with their credit card. Okay, your market research step number 4 is to use search tools. They are free. There are many of them, and they are very easy to use. Everything from Google and Google Trends. I mean, if you've been on Google and you've searched anything, it's going to start to pre-fill for you. Amazon actually does the same thing. If you go, especially if you're looking like in the book section, so for a more professional topic, and you start to write, things are going to pre-fill for you. That means that these are things that are being searched. This is information that Amazon or Google or these big search engines, even Pinterest, are going to predict that you want to know more about, because there are a lot of other people asking this as well. There's also a website called Answer the Public. You can create a pro account. There is a free account, and it's going to show you what you plug in a topic, maybe your niche or the problem that you solve, or the service that you provide, and you're going to plug that in, and it's going to give you an entire web of all of the topics around this particular idea. Now, one of my favorite things to do, not necessarily for market research so much as getting content ideas, is I love to go into books on Amazon that are solving the same problem as me, and I like to read the table of contents. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with everything in there, but it should all be things related to what you do or the topic that you're talking about, your business is about. And I love to go in there just to get like a title and then like go with it, either argue with it or what's my opinion on this, what's my stance. So I don't even read the book. It's just literally a whole list of ideas that are available to me for free that I can then go talk about. But there's a lot of data that you can use from that, and a lot of sort of information that you can cipher from those books as well, especially if you can find the bestsellers and see what other people are wanting to consume, what problems they're trying to solve. Which brings me to number 5, and the use of AI tools. Now, I'm partial to ChatGPT. I do have the paid version, so my experience is a little bit different than the free version, but there are so many other ones out there. I know a lot of copywriters and social media managers are using Claude, but you can go find the one that you like best. Even things like Canva are starting to get the intuitive AI features, maybe not quite as developed, but you can actually start to build out an ideal customer avatar inside of AI. You can feed it the information you know, you can ask it additional questions, and especially if you have a version that's scanning the internet, like a pro ChatGPT, for example, it's actually going to have quite a bit of information. I don't think that AI has the same emotional intelligence and passion as talking directly to your ideal clients, but it can absolutely give you a very speedy head start. Before we wrap up from these 5 ways that you should be performing market research, I want to remind you that there are also a few things that you should avoid when you're trying to land on your marketing message and putting out your services and expecting to get people coming to you and inquiring about your services. And the first is the use of industry jargon. This is when we use big words that our ideal client isn't even aware of them. They're really words that are part of the solution. Maybe they're niche specific to you and the problem you solve. You need to be using the same language that your person is going to be using when they're asking for help or when they're talking about their struggles. So make sure that you are not sort of talking at them in a way that it's not going to land. It's going to go one in one ear and right out the other. You also need to stop guessing what people are or are not interested in. Just because you think something is a really cool idea does not mean it's going to sell. And I know that that might seem harsh, and I'm an elder millennial special snowflake too, so I get it. We think all of our ideas are great, but the whole reason of doing market research, as mentioned at the beginning, is to get validation so that when we do go to start market and selling what we're doing, we know that there's already an audience of people waiting to be served in that area. And the last thing that you should definitely avoid doing is talking about your offer or your service without understanding why that thing is important to the person who's going to be paying for it. Again, this is the part that sometimes the AI tools leave out. It's that emotional pull. It's that where are they now? Okay, there's the logical part of that. There's sort of the superficial part of where they're now. But what does that mean? What stress is that adding to their life? Are they overwhelmed? What are those feelings around it? And then on the flip side, when we get to point B, how are they going to feel as a result of hiring and working with you when that thing is resolved? Now, remember, the goal of market research is to understand what your clients want, create those offers and service packages for them, and then connect with them through your messaging, either on your website, through social media, or your other marketing efforts, thus resulting in more sales. So you can clearly see that doing market research is extremely important, and hopefully today's video broke down some easy ways that you can get started making sure that you are on track. Thank you so much for tuning in to Free Mama TV. Again, I hope to see you over in the Facebook group. And if you're interested in learning more about how you can participate in live trainings where we go more in depth on topics like this, and you can get Q&A, coaching support, and feedback, you definitely want to check out the Free Mama membership. I'm going to put the links to both those places down below this video. I'll see you next time.